The San Francisco 49ers have just been hit with some encouraging news about one of their key players, someone many fans and analysts alike see as the most valuable asset on the team, Christian McCaffrey. This guy's career has been a roller coaster filled with flashes of brilliance and frustrating injuries. But the latest updates suggest he might be on track for something special. What's fascinating about McCaffrey is not just his undeniable talent, but also the way his body has endured the rigors of football, especially considering the type of injuries he's suffered over the years. There's a lot to unpack when it comes to McCaffrey's health and the toll the game has taken on him. You hear experts talking about his injuries, and one of the main themes that comes up is that most of them have been soft tissue related. This might sound technical, but it's important because soft tissue injuries often mean strains or tears in muscles or ligaments rather than more severe bone breaks or impact hits. Recently, McCaffrey dealt with a posterior cruciate ligament injury, which is different from the more commonly feared ACL injuries. The PCL isn't usually as devastating, and in many cases, players don't even require surgery to recover fully. This detail is huge because it implies a potentially shorter rehab and a better chance of returning without lingering issues. What's equally intriguing is the insight coming from someone who has known Christian McCaffrey almost his entire life, someone who's been close to the family and understands the player beyond the public eye. This insider perspective reveals a side of McCaffrey that fans don't always see, the work ethic that borders on obsession. This guy trains harder than most athletes you'll find, putting in a level of dedication and intensity that's honestly remarkable. But here's where things get complicated, because the same drive that makes him so great might also be contributing to his injury troubles. There's a real debate about whether McCaffrey is his own worst enemy in this sense, pushing his body relentlessly, sometimes perhaps beyond what it can handle. This raises a fascinating question that's been floating around among fans and commentators. Is Christian McCaffrey's string of injuries more about how hard he pushes himself, or is it a result of how the coaching staff uses him on the field? Kyle Shanahan, the head coach, is known for his aggressive use of playmakers, and some argue that McCaffrey is being played too hard with not enough rest or rotation. After all, the guy is often on the field for nearly every snap, making it hard for his body to fully recover week after week. On the other hand, McCaffrey's style is all about giving everything he's got. He's a hard runner, a player who leaves it all out there, and that mentality might mean he's taking some unnecessary risks on his own. It's a nuanced issue, and the opinions out there vary widely. Some fans say, look, this is just the nature of running backs. They get hurt, and you have to accept that and make the most of their prime years. After all, running backs often have shorter careers because of the physical demands of the position. When you look at players like Saquon Barkley, who had a similar injury history but still managed an outstanding season, it's clear that this risk is part of the package. And McCaffrey's 2023 campaign was nothing short of spectacular. He was a candidate for Offensive Player of the Year, a type of accolade any player dreams of but few achieve. That kind of success demands every ounce of effort, and sometimes it means dealing with the consequences of pushing too hard. What's striking is how McCaffrey manages to avoid the most brutal kinds of hits. When you watch him on the field, you rarely see him take a full, square-on impact. Instead, he seems almost untouchable, slipping and gliding through defenses in a way that minimizes heavy contact. Think of it like watching a player who moves so fluidly that defenders just can't line him up for a clean hit. It's a skill that's rare, and it's part of why McCaffrey has been so effective. Comparisons have been made to players from past eras who had that same elusive quality, players who could absorb contact without ever really getting hit the way others do. This ability helps explain why many of his injuries have been soft tissue rather than catastrophic. But there's a catch. While he avoids the big hits, McCaffrey's injuries sometimes come from the sheer volume of contact and effort he puts into every play. Even if none of the hits are devastating individually, the cumulative effect wears on his body. One of his more serious injuries wasn't from a direct hit, but from awkward contact with the ground, which caused a PCL issue. These small moments add up, and unfortunately, they take a toll. It's a sobering reminder of how fragile even the most gifted athletes can be when subjected to the physical demands of professional football week after week. Despite these setbacks, there's optimism surrounding McCaffrey's return and what he could mean for the 49ers if he stays healthy all season. The consensus among those close to the team is that he is a game changer, a player capable of unlocking the offense in ways few others can. His dual-threat ability as a runner and a receiver puts constant pressure on opposing defenses, forcing them to adjust and often opening up opportunities for his teammates. When McCaffrey is on the field, linebackers have to account for him immediately, which in turn creates space and mismatches elsewhere. This ripple effect can be the difference between an offense that struggles to move the ball and one that dominates. The importance of McCaffrey to the 49ers' success cannot be overstated. Some people point to Brock Purdy as the team's most valuable player, but the argument is growing that McCaffrey actually holds that title. Purdy is a rising star at quarterback and a key piece, but McCaffrey's impact transcends individual stats. He changes the entire dynamic of the offense, lifting the performance of those around him. If McCaffrey can play all 17 games at his best, the 49ers are not just contenders. They could very well dominate their division and make a deep playoff run. In fact, the team's general manager and other insiders have expressed strong belief in McCaffrey's ability to return to his peak form. The word is that the player we saw earlier in his career, who seemed unstoppable, is coming back, healthier and more focused. That's huge news for fans who remember how electrifying McCaffrey was when fully fit. The idea that he can be the guy who unlocks the offense speaks volumes about his role and value. This isn't just a player who contributes. He's a catalyst who can change the trajectory of a game in an instant, whether through a breakaway run, a clutch reception, or simply demanding so much attention that he creates space for others. This season feels different because the team is gearing up with that mindset in place. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could become one of the most sensational shakeups of the NFL offseason, rumors are swirling that quarterback Brock Purdy might be on the verge of making a shocking move, leaving the San Francisco 49ers to join one of the team's fiercest rivals. While nothing has been officially confirmed, whispers from sources close to the situation suggest that tensions may be brewing behind the scenes in the Bay Area. Purdy, who quickly became the 49ers' starting quarterback and a fan favorite after a stunning rise from the final pick of the draft to NFC Championship contender, has reportedly drawn interest from several rival franchises impressed by his poise, accuracy, and leadership under pressure. One team in particular, believed to be either the Seattle Seahawks or the Los Angeles Rams, has been quietly positioning itself as a top landing spot if Purdy were to explore new horizons. Speculation has only intensified following cryptic social media activity and an apparent distancing between Purdy and some of the 49ers' key personnel. Though the quarterback has remained tight-lipped, insiders point to recent contract restructuring talks that may not have gone smoothly, possibly prompting the 24-year-old signal caller to weigh his options. If true, such a move would send shockwaves through the league. The 49ers, with their Super Bowl-caliber roster, had banked on Purdy as their long-term answer under center. His departure could spark a full-blown quarterback scramble in San Francisco, with ripple effects likely felt across the entire NFC. Could this be a strategic bluff, a power play for leverage, or is there real fire behind this smoke? For now, it remains a tantalizing mystery. But one thing is clear. If Brock Purdy does swap jerseys for a divisional rival, the next time he steps on a Levi's Stadium could be as the enemy, a storyline straight out of an NFL drama. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.